Hello, good evening, morning, or afternoon, or whenever you're seeing this. I'm Super King Ghidorah, your favorite three-headed kaiju that's learned to play video games and work YouTube. And I am joined by two other YouTubers and great members of the Discord, the JPOG Squad, Tech Tuning Inc., and Dino Gaming Productions, the Sunspark filmmaker.
Hey, what's up? How's it going?
The sun is rising, and I'm here for it.
And I brought everybody here today because I want to talk about Universal Studios and what I feel like is a personal... Can I call it a personal attack on the fandom, even though it's technically happening to just one guy?
It's...
It could evolve into an attack on the fandom, but at the current moment, no, it's just him.
Yeah, at the current moment.
Like, I'm just saying, I feel totally bothered by the fact they sent this man a whole cease and desist order saying that what he's making, totally fan-made, totally free, not planning on making no type of money off of. He's doing it just for the love of the franchise, but is being told what you're doing looks too official, and we feel like it's obscuring the vision of the filmmakers, so we need you to stop. And I'm just looking at it like, at this point, I don't know what the filmmakers want. I don't know what Colin Trevorrow wanted to do. I don't know what his vision was of Jurassic World, because after Dominion, I'm left scratching my head. Do I like it as an action movie? Yes, but as a movie that's supposed to carry along the plot, I don't know where he was going with it. So I guess the next trilogy is going to be called Jurassic Planet.
Well, I mean, I think it's interesting because like when you just go from like the first three to like the three new ones, there's not really a whole lot of connective tissue. Like just kind of like, oh yeah, there's a whole new park now. Now, granted, I mean that is because Jurassic World is a reboot, but that's why I think we should have a video game that connects the two of them. But and a fan could make that, but Universal will send a cease and desist in the mail.
And plus, I think it's just like you're setting the game in the Jurassic Park very first movie, like that era, 1997. What would that affect for the filmmakers? Oh, sorry, yeah, 1993. Nope, whoops. What would that affect on the filmmakers? I mean, they're doing stuff in 2023 and beyond. I mean, the only thing that I could think of is like, if they actually go through with the idea of doing some kind of Jurassic Park prequel with Hammond making the park and whatnot. But even then, there's been a ton of stuff that could be made that's like not official canon. No one's saying that the game is official canon, so why do you have to shove it down as like, this is going to affect the entire plot of it just because it's remarkably detailed? I mean, all of our projects, we try and go as detailed as we can in terms of, like, making it feel realistic and making it feel believable. But you don't see us getting any stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like how Hammond said, and he wanted to give people something that they can see and touch.
I mean, not
be baffled by. Like, yeah, well, the final movie's about locusts. Okay. Interesting choice. It worked for a cool spin-off, but like not the final movie.
Man, don't get me started on the final movie. Like I said, Dominion good as an action movie, but we were supposed to focus on the fact that there was dinosaurs in our world, and now we're going to Biosyn. I'm just trying to figure. Look, it's great Biosyn made it in, but what does that have to do with the fact that there's like an upheaval in our world because there are dinosaurs among us? Biosyn seemed like they had everything. They had everything contained. They were good over there, so I don't see why we had to focus on them.
Also, I think it's pretty laughable that they expect us to believe that there was like any kind of setup or anything for Biosyn. Like there was no setup or anything.
No.
There was no tease, there wasn't anything. They just didn't exist since the first movie. Oh, yeah, out of here.
They weren't even name dropped in the first movie. All you knew there was a guy named Dachshund just trying to be shady. Unless you read the novels, you didn't know. If you ain't read the novels, you ain't know what Biosyn was, who Dachshund was working for. You just knew there was a guy named Dachshund trying to steal embryos. But
I always wondered why the Lost World movie didn't incorporate that. I always wondered.
See, and they talking about obscuring the director's vision. What about Michael Crichton's vision? Y'all went totally left field. You kind of, first you was going in a straight line, then you kind of went in this weird little diagonal, you kind of went askew, and then you just said fuck it and started scribbling everywhere. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Lost World. It's really good. JP3, it's one of my favorites up there. Then you got the World Trilogy. Yeah, we have this off and on kind of thing. But I feel like as a whole, after Jurassic Park, y'all just took a crayon and pencil, marker, whatever you like to, use, and just scribble chicken scratches. Say,
yeah, but like the whole thing with this guy. Sorry, but
Oh no, it's okay.
the whole thing with the game, it's just like all of us have worked on creating probably some of the most believable, at least to a certain extent, scripts and character developments and like plots as hard as we can. Like we go hardcore. We've spent like months working on some of our scripts for our videos.
exactly.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I kind of do write Heroes was more like a video game at times. I mean, there are a lot of things. There are a lot of things that are realistic. But
speaking of which, if you guys haven't seen DGP's work or Deck's work, I suggest that you do. I really do suggest that you go see A Whole New World and you go see Helix Wars.
Yeah, but like with Deck, I mean, Deck creates stuff that like out of all three of our projects, Dex is probably the most controversial in terms of Universal's standpoint.
Yeah,
it
really is. Cause I shit you not, that if they want to continue this franchise, the only thing I could see them doing is a reboot. And the only thing right now that it's worth rebootable or rebooting, however you make reboot a word, is Helix Wars. It follows the canon. Look, you're telling your own story, but it does not fuck up the canon. It's your own canon, but it works. It's believable.
Well, I mean, it takes elements from canon, and it is
yeah, but canon, you can still see it happening. You can still see it happening. That whole Lost World saga with Dr. Grant and Muldoon, all that. I can see all that happening. It is just begs the question. That's the butterfly effect right there. Changing one tiny little detail and everything else is different. You don't think that changing that one little detail that you change, most people might not think something drastic would happen. Like, oh, it wouldn't come much of that. If that didn't happen, well, maybe the rest of the movie would be like this. Oh, no. That's why I'm telling y'all, go watch Helix Wars. You'll see and understand. I'm not doing it justice by talking about it.
And then, like, with my project, throughout the making of Our New Planet, I tried to stick to as much, like, detail within the current lore as possible. And the only part that I really changed was, like, the fact that, dinosaurs just aren't everywhere, They got ecosystems and places where they choose to live and they can be found. They're much more established, but that's literally, like, probably the only thing that I derive from. Apart from that, I'm pretty...
Honestly, they could come after you, too, because they could be like, oh, you're interfering with our Dino Tracker website. What?
Yeah.
The website, it's funny about that website. Universal didn't make that website. It was fans that made it.
Right.
Fans made that website.
I'll be surprised if they came after Hell Creek, because Hell Creek is like in its own little bubble way away from everything else. Like, I want to bring some stuff in from Jurassic Park, I guess to make it feel a little bit more at home. I guess that's the thing I'm looking for. But if they were to come after me, it'd be because I'm rewriting the Jurassic World trilogy.
Yeah. It's
Well,
just
I don't
the fact-
think.
Go ahead.
I don't think they'd come after you for making a fan rewrite. 'Cause, I mean, there's all kinds of projects where people rewrite movies that they like or that they didn't like,
True.
know, and how they want to do it. You know, there's all kinds of content like that on the internet, just not on YouTube, just the internet, you know, or just fan fiction in general. I don't think they come after you for it. Because I mean, it's just, because like, what could they legally do to you? It's you know, like it's a very weird, abstract thing. You know, it's someone's writing. And I highly doubt a lot of people will even really, I highly doubt anyone will really, or Universal even see my content and really care about it. I don't want to be a threat to them, but I don't think they will perceive me as one.
There, and the only reason they sent him that cease and desist orders, like they said, is, you know, it feels too official. But y'all didn't care about, what was it? Yeah, a year or so ago, maybe a year and a half ago when it was first announced, and the people that promote y'all the best in slot, I think Gaming Beaver and all that, they were talking about it. I didn't care about a thing when they was only doing 15-minute videos about it. Now when he's talking about releasing this whole demo and this basically catching the fan base by storm, now y'all want to send out this cease and desist letter because you're looking at something that's probably going to give people an hour's worth of content to watch and experience, and y'all can't make a profit out of it. Now y'all intimidated. Now it's a problem.
And it's like it's not even like super canon in a way, because they're adding a ton of stuff that we've personally never seen. Like,
and that's my favorite part.
Right? Yeah, that's the stuff that gets us. But you know, it's like you can't base the idea like, oh, that's gonna derive the director's mindset, or it's like it's too close to the fandom. When it's like, how is that fair when they're taking a lot of creative liberties in making this? They have to take a ton of creative liberties making this because they don't have that much to go off of. I mean, besides like the main stuff that we all know about.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of creativity, and for it to just be thrown away is pretty annoying.
Yeah.
You know, I'm surprised this guy's able to keep it together.
Like, I'm pretty sure he's devastated, but he's basically keeping it together for everybody that's watching him. But I'm pretty sure he's devastated because he's worked long and hard on this. And then, as you're to be a fan of the franchise, you're making this beautiful project to be told by the people who own the license to stop. When as you just confirmed, there's a fan-based website out here giving out free promotion for the World Trilogy, and they're not being told to stop.
Yeah,
they only did because Universal turned into a marketing opportunity for Dominion. Beaver also mentioned that in his review of the film of the Dino Tracker. You know, they added a bunch of like social media influencers, like some dude that does like magic tricks, you know, and all that just happened to be a dinosaur walking in the background. Like, oh, but you know, it just turned into marketing pretty much. Which, I mean, that is what it is at the end of the day.
I mean, it's kind of smart in a way. I mean, like, if you add your fan base, it's gonna make the fan base a lot more willing to work with what you got.
Damn.
Not to mention, I mean, fan projects really do keep people interested in the series. And nothing big is happening.
Exactly. Like, what's that one they did for Operation Genesis? Well, what was that one called again?
Oh, like Deadland and Isla Muerta, you know, all the classics.
That too, and the one where they remodded the game. I think they tried their best to update the models as best they could and everything.
Oh, the Legacy Dream, Jurassic Park. That's the newest one that came out, I think like a month or so ago.
And then you got people that mod Jurassic World Evolution too. I guess everybody's just going to be told to stop what you're doing. Don't make nothing for this unless we give you the go ahead to.
They just gave some crappy reasons.
Yeah, that's what bothered me about the whole thing. Like, y'all reasons for why he should stop sounds hypocritical to me. Like,
it just reminds me of the line from Lost World where Lobo was telling Ian, he's like, Engine is my responsibility now, Doctor, and I would jealously defend his interests. Like, that's pretty much what's going on here. They want to, defend the IP from some threat, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Because the entire JP fandom would, like, totally just drop the movies if we saw this one game come out.
Right. Like, shoot.
In a heartbeat.
Like, look, Universal, you're most likely not going to see this, but if you ever happen to gloss over this, especially this point, if you're worried about the fans fucking up the franchise or whatever lore thing y'all trying to establish, you're doing a very good damn job of that already. Because if Jurassic Park Operations is deemed bad, but y'all think Camp Cretaceous using these robot dogs called Brads is good, then
yeah, and the like mind control dinos. Oh boy.
Look,
which I mean, I would have mind Camp Cretaceous if it was a non-canon. But sorry, Dino.
Nope, you're good. It's just like, okay, you gave a project a shot. I give you admiration for that. You took the ball and you trucked it as far down the court as you could. Some people liked it, some people didn't, but that doesn't mean you just deny any other projects from happening. Especially this one, because this one is going into lore that is 30 years old.
Mm-hmm.
If
that lore's already been established, it can't be changed.
If this is stuff that was coming out now,
or can it? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, stuff that were coming out for Camp Cretaceous edition, then okay, I could see you wanting to get a little defensive. Hey, you can't be doing that. We're working on this. But,
you know what? Oh no, continue.
What?
No, I'm saying continue. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh. But it's this project is literally going off of something that you no longer are putting any influence into at all. I mean, sure, if you want to make a game somewhere down the line, sure, but I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen, considering... Isn't it the top person within Universal, when she joined, she stopped the Jurassic World game thing because she wasn't into games?
Yes, that happened.
That's
what?
The same
director.
Chick,
I can't tell. I mean, it's been... When did that happen? 2012?
Oh, wow. I didn't know about that.
2015. 2012 it would have been, so probably something like that.
Yeah, because I think... I'm sure the movie went into early pre-production at that time.
Yeah. But yeah, Ghidorah, the whole thing was Jurassic World was originally supposed to be a game, which was being developed by the original creator of Trespasser.
Mm-hmm.
However, the new CEO or whatever her stance is, apologies, but she decided, no, I don't really like video games, I'm gonna turn this into a movie, make profit off that way. And so that's why we didn't get a Jurassic World the game.
But then Frank Marshall, the producer, he met with the dude's name was Seamus Blackley, the director of Trespasser. He actually went on to help create the Xbox, the original Xbox, by the way.
I forgot about that.
But Frank Marshall said we really like they showed it to Spielberg and Kathleen Kennedy, and they were all impressed. It was only the CEO of Universal that wasn't on board. Frank Marshall, the producer, said, "Hey, I really like this. We can take ideas and put it into the new movie."
Yeah, it's like if you're not gonna provide the people with that, let the fans do it.
Exactly.
Just don't allow them to get any money off of it. If they're gonna get money off of it, yeah, go ahead, shut it down, because that's making money off of your patented product.
Right? God forbid you get free publicity.
Lunchbox.
Yeah, take their lunchbox from them.
Now you're selling and selling and selling.
Also, it's hilarious how they only care about Jurassic Park when they've run out of ideas or whatever for Jurassic World. Like every time they got something coming out for Jurassic World, when it was Jurassic World, it's like they ignored the Jurassic Park trilogy. Like they ignored whatever Lost World and JP3 had to offer to it and just focus on the first movie. Oh, Hammond wanted this park to be a success. I thought he was a naturalist now. I thought he said leave the animals alone.
Well,
from capitalist naturalist just 4 years.
I mean,
that's
well,
something.
I could see that still happening. The ideas of a dead man being changed because of the immense amount of profit, that happens all the time.
It's very ironic, isn't it?
Yeah.
The irony is not lost on anyone.
Yeah. If you make something known as like genetic power and you have the ability to create dinosaurs, someone's going to violate your your will.
Yeah, you know what? And you have a very good point there.
But go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that I just feel like every time whatever they're doing with Jurassic World is over, now you want to worry about Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that's the golden child,
Yeah, that's what started it all.
That's the one with that's like the least controversial entry in this entire franchise.
Yeah, it's just like the whole thing is just like it's kind of ridiculous. It's like because if you're gonna go to the length of like, oh yeah, so it messes with the ideas of the director or whatnot, it's like, okay, so your director is apparently thinking about the fact that any JP new creations or whatnot, that's messing with it. Okay, so now you gotta go on a killing spree across the entire YouTube community. You gotta get rid of every single recreation. Mm-hmm. You gotta get rid of
hunting for sport.
Yeah. You gotta get rid of every single recreation. You gotta get rid of every single machinima. You gotta do so much stuff, but no, you're gonna just focus on the one person who, admittedly, it is in great detail, and that's probably a thing that worked against the guy, is because it's a level of detail that none of us could ever achieve within Jurassic World Evolution.
That's true.
But still, it's like I was saying earlier, we try and reach the highest amount of detail within our scripts, our sets, and everything. So it's like, why aren't we getting the golden boot or anything?
Just because we're not known.
Yeah, we aren't getting
we're not known.
attention.
Trust me. I wholeheartedly believe they would be intimidated by Helix Wars and A New World. I wholeheartedly believe that.
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, because if they were to go after me, then why? Then I could just ask, why don't they go after anyone else? Why is it just me? What did I do specifically?
Helix, yeah.
And that's the same thing Chronotica said. Why y'all targeting me? What about the other people that's done stuff? And they said they were going to take a look at them too, and send out cease and desist orders, I guess, if deemed necessary.
That's what happened to Jurassic Life, that old Half-Life mod from they started working on it in 2007, I think, or 8. and people were talking about it back in 2013, and then it just mysteriously disappeared for like a decade, and it only recently reemerged. It turns out they got shut down by Universal.
Shocker.
So I mean, yeah.
We asked Universal. We asked you for a survival horror game. We asked you for something along the lines of Trespasser. Like, give us Trespasser, combine it with Dino Crisis, make it good. Don't give us that Jurassic World Aftermath stuff. We ask y'all for this, you give us bobbleheads. You're giving us a game or something with bobbleheaded T-Rexes and Dilos and I think and Indominus with the pink eye.
Yeah. And I just want to clarify. We have the park builder game, Jurassic World Evolution. Thank God this game came out. I am so glad this game came out. It's a dream come true that this game came out. However, it's like
honestly,
okay.
I mean,
It's
sorry.
Like, no, you're totally fine. It's just it's like when Trespasser came out, it was such a revolutionary idea, not only for the time, but also just as a game itself. Regardless of the fact that it was exceeding its time and that it was poorly crafted in terms of like mechanics and whatnot, it is
That was
still
just due to time, pretty much.
Yeah, that was just due to the time, but like still, it is still heavily respected amongst multiple areas in the Jurassic Park community. Like, that game has more problems with it than some of your like lower end like PS4 games. But it's still got heavier respect than what those PS4 games have published,
Yep, you know what?
It's
And I agree.
It's made by people who like the series.
And see,
It's strange
like,
to look back on though, because there's only like that and Lost World at the time. They still love those movies.
Oh yeah.
when something's made with love and care, it shows, opposed to something that's given to you just so you can shut up.
Yeah.
Personally,
And that's
it's, like,
why-
not rushed.
Yes, and that's why
That's
why
the
I've
biggest
fallen
problem.
in love. Yeah, that's why I've fallen in love with this game so much. It's just because, it's gone through evolution. Haha.
I see
It's
what you
gone
did
through an
there.
evolution of multiple phases. We did outcries here and there, and we got certain stuff that we wanted. Some stuff we're still waiting on, but that's totally fine. I understand we can't have everything, but for 30 years we've been begging, literally begging, for a survival horror game that's not on VR.
Yeah, fully fleshed out AAA.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the question. Who should make it?
Oh,
Like, what studios? I think Respawn should. I think they should.
I don't really know what
the-
company's great is for it.
Respawn's games tend to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Like Titanfall 2, the new Star Wars game, they tend to be good. They seem to actually care. Not saying Frontier doesn't, but they wouldn't make a game like that. That's not their forte.
No, they're park builders and whatnot. Park building, I'd say, is
Shoot.
like their main thing.
And they excel at that. But what Universal should talk to Frontier about listening to their fan base, because this is starting to sound like Jurassic World Evolution 1. When we're asking for something and then they're trying to tell us why we can't have it, but we know it's the other way around. We know we actually can, but you just don't want to give it to us. And I'm starting to think it was Universal. It was more on Universal and less on Frontier, because I remember when it was complaining about the dinosaur sizes, and Frontier was saying, we can't change the dinosaur sizes. It'll mess up with the games. It'll mess up the game's save files or whatnot. No, it won't. You're just changing the size of the dinosaurs. They did that.
Was a baby.
Right. Ceratosaurus was like fucking huge for no reason.
And the Rex was like Godzilla sized. like comically oversized T-Rex.
No, but what really got me was like, hey, can we get skins for like Blue and like the T-Rex and all that? We can't do that because that's not how they would act in, the movie. Did you not see Blue murder like the whole armed squadron when they turned on them in the movie? I could have sworn I saw that.
Yeah, I remember they kept saying that about some things, but then it's like they say that, but then it's like the Spino's supposed to be bigger than T-Rex. I mean, that's said in Jurassic Park 3. Regardless of how you feel about that, that is what it is. And in the game's own like description for the Giga, it said that like it's bigger than T-Rex. Now, of course, we know nowadays it's not, but I mean, at the time they put that in there, so they should respect. They should listen to what they themselves said in their own bio.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of like this weird loop of like, okay, we'll give you some points of like, oh yeah, we can do this for you, but then sometimes it's like, no, well, we'd rather not do that for you. It's like, okay, but what's the circumstance really changing on this? Like,
right.
It's kind of the same circumstances last time, or...
Like, explain to us why this cannot be. Like, make an actual argument.
I would say Frontier has to clean their act up.
Oh yeah.
Frontier, I don't know if you're ever going to see this, but you're doing a bang-up job. You really are. This game is wonderful.
It is kind of funny looking back though, like when the game first came out, people were like, "Oh, this game's like, nah, this game's disappointing." Some people were saying it's worse than the first game.
Right, this is just JWE 1.5. I was like, you ungrateful motherfucker.
That annoyed the crap out of me. I was like, are you kidding me?
Right, and these the same people that are still playing. I'm like, if you're so unhappy with the game, don't play it. Don't buy it. If you bought it and you're
not playing it anymore,
right?
Like they were just there just because it's the new game, and they're not going to keep up with any of the updates, anything. Just no. The game did have problems when it first came out. Like there were a lot of like technical issues. Like dinosaurs are just kind of it just kept happening, especially with the reptiles in the aviary. They would always just kind of phase out of the aviary out of nowhere.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, there definitely were issues.
Yeah.
I mean, to say that it was like worse than the first game, like what?
Let's not forget the famous Apatosaurus glitch when you would transport it.
Yeah.
Started doing the jerk. Like,
it's just the point that Frontier is listening. Like, they're actively listening to us now, and it shows. Now, everything we ask for, no, it won't get in the game, but the stuff that they're putting in, it shows that they're listening. They're giving us more decorations. Yeah, more dinosaurs and prehistoric reptiles and everything. Yeah, that's gonna be cool, but I need aesthetic. I need more aesthetic to my park, and that's I'm gonna get from decorations. I need park benches, trash cans, and they gave us trash cans, and all I'm waiting on is park benches.
I mean, of course, yes. I understand that some of this stuff is like, it's kind of a wish list in a way, but the other end of it is like, this is a park builder. I should technically have access to a bench or a trash can. I know it's kind of a mechanic you're not really thinking about when you're doing a park builder for dinosaurs, but it's a park builder. It's the same as Planet Zoo.
Mm-hmm.
It should be along the same kind of like management level of like Planet Zoo to some stance. I mean,
well, I do like that JWE. I do like that JWE is a lot more user friendly.
Right. Yeah.
Like to me, like I know Prehistoric Kingdom is a great game. It looks good. But it's like I don't know. It looks too it's a very daunting game. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, very complicated.
And I think Evo Squared is something like that. It's very it's very overwhelming.
It has a steep learning curve.
You know, because you feel pressured to come up with all these incredible things.
Yeah.
But not so much with JWE. It's a lot more laid back. You know, they give you the tools to make something great, but you don't have to. You know, so I mean, yeah, there's enough to like satisfy people like us, like, you know, who want some more choice and decisions, but don't want to be overwhelmed.
Universal. You're killing this franchise, Universal. I'm just gonna go out there and say it. It shows with Camp Cretaceous. Your decision makers with Camp Cretaceous, like, you gotta do better.
I know people at JPOGcast are not big fans of Camp Cretaceous. I don't hate it. My only gripe is I just wish it wasn't canon. You know, it's cool. It's cool that it exists. It's cool that it has an audience, but I don't know. Yeah.
That's the problem I have with it too. You made it canon, Universal. That's the problem.
So I mean, yeah, it's nice. It's nice. It's like a little endearing kids show, but I don't think it needs to be canon. Sorry, Dino.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's not. It's just like, you know, me personally, when I'm writing, I'm writing a book currently within my life, and when doing that, you know, if I ever make something, it's like, you know, you gotta kind of weave it into the story somehow. But with Camp Cretaceous, like, within the later seasons, I was like, okay, what does this really have to do with JP at all? Like,
right.
in like the first 3 seasons, it was wonderful. You know, it was like, okay, I can absolutely see how this stuff weaves in and how it works. But within the newer stuff, like, as soon as you left the island, it just turned into this, like, alright, we just opened up Pandora's box, let's just make a whole nother island. And it's like, isn't that what the JP3 script was trying to avoid? Because I think there was a time when, like, there was the whole idea of Site C.
Yeah. Yeah, because on some of the promotional material, there was like it was like Site C, Surf for Survival or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that was one of the original ideas, and then Spielberg like, "No, just put it on, use this sort of."
Yeah. It's like, why did you really have to go and make a new island? I mean, my god, this franchise has so many islands available. It would have been so easy. It would have been so easy.
Everybody's like, oh, they're going... Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, you're totally good. It's like, first of all, you got the 5 deaths, which 3 of those islands are completely unexplored. Or sorry, 4 of them. And then
I mean, yeah,
my mind kind of shut off.
Well, I mean, you're right. I mean, like, Sona's the only one that really had anything.
Yeah.
None of them are just kind of neglected. So.
And then in Fallen Kingdom, we got the idea of the Sanctuary Island. I mean, it wasn't confirmed if it was real or not, because, you know, it's not really. It's kind of up for debate if it was real, but
that'd be really silly if it wasn't. Because I'm just like, wait, I'm like, you mean to tell me like Claire and them like didn't?
They didn't Google Maps the shit.
That'd be strange that they didn't look into it.
Yeah, but like, it's still a thing, you know? You could have easily just gone like, alright, we're gonna put this new story on the Sanctuary Island and talk about how there was a bit more shady business than we were led to believe, or something like that. Like, you had options, Universal.
Oh my god.
AKA Isla Rosetta, but yeah, anyway.
It's just, yeah, they went and invented a whole new island. Dragged a whole nother Spinosaurus into it because they're ashamed. Universal is ashamed to bring back the Spinosaurus from JP3 because they're scared of the backlash they cause for trying something new. You're not supposed to be scared to try something new.
Yeah, you're supposed to go for the balls.
Do you mean the neck?
Nope.
Nah, I see what you
Going
did
straight,
there.
straight for it. I understand the reference, but nope, we're going straight for it.
Like that's why the Spinosaurus got
I don't see
shoehorned
what
out of the Jurassic World trilogy. It was supposed to be in Jurassic World. It was what was it? Its paddock was supposed to be paddock 10, I think.
Yeah, now it just exists in this like weird like area of the canon, like where it didn't really do anything for like 20 years, and then it just kind of appeared again.
Right. And then in Fallen Kingdom, it was supposed to fight Rexy, in which all of us that were mad 20 years ago that I rip our dead homie, but you know that he lost. We finally get our revenge through Rexy, I guess, killing the Spinosaurus. But when I sit back and think about it, what point does that serve? Like,
Right, it's literally just fan service.
I mean, I guess it'd be like them getting even, but I'm just like, does it even matter anymore?
Yeah, it's like getting even at what? The fact that two animals were fighting in the wild? Oh yeah.
right.
That's a real rivalry.
And then your most missed opportunity was Dominion, where if I was a director, I would have done it. I would have threw the Spinosaurus in there, and they would have asked me. They'd be like, "Why did you put the Spinosaurus in the final battle?" Oh, well, it's supposed to represent that moment in JP3 when the fandom split. It was supposed to represent those two fandoms coming together, you know, to take on, to take on a threat. Y'all coming together. Y'all coming to terms. Now, granted, it might not have been. It wouldn't have been against the Giga because the Giga didn't deserve to die. Yeah, it would have been the Indominus.
Because like the idea that like bringing together like two classic ideas to defeat the new one, like the subtext writes itself.
I mean, technically, they did do that in a way with the Indominus.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah.
Velociraptor and Rex, but you know. The main idea of this whole thing is just like, you know, Universal, you had something really beautiful on the cusp of being made for free. You guys didn't have to pay a single person to do this. You didn't have to pay any advertisement or anything. You're actually saving money in a way if you allow the guy to work on the project. And you'd also be making money in a way because if he were to make his project and make it come true, you know how much freaking increasing in advertisement there could be for like the success of the JP universe. It's a massively anticipated game, and you kind of shot yourself in the foot, like worse than some like World War leaders. You had something beautiful, but then you decided against it, and it's gonna bite you in the butt, I think.
Oh, big time. Big time, because a lot of people, I don't know. I don't want to say I'm speaking for everybody, but a lot of people may look at this and be like, well, maybe now I don't want to make something for this franchise because now I feel like as a person of this fan base, I'm not valued. Or maybe, they won't feel that way at all, continue to, do what they do, but...
Yeah, it's like... It's almost just like there's kind of a fear in a way. It's like, alright, well, if I start working on my own project, which, by the way, that person put so much effort into that project, and for you to do that is a little messed up.
Mm-hmm.
I feel so bad for the guy. If I put that much work into a project and to have it just shut down, like, oh, yep, you couldn't have told me, like, as I was working on it, like, a year ago. Not that far in, but nope, you had to tell me right when it was about to be released.
And it's not like he can ignore it and go ahead anyway because they're going to, they'll be like, oh, well, now we got to take legal action.
Yeah, it's going to turn into a legality issue. Because they have the patent of it. But it's like...
We patented it, we own it.
Yeah, there it is. Classic deck. But it's
Universal, you're leaving a bad taste in everybody's mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could just imagine, like, the clip from Lost Road where Nick was telling Ludlow, like, you know, these are animals, you don't own them. And he's like, oh yeah, he's like, yes, we patented them, we designed them, we own them.
We patented, we designed
And
them.
then you can just cut to the scene where the T-Rex, where the two Rexes kill him.
Shoot, part of me likes to believe that Michael Crichton himself, if he was still alive, he would probably, I don't think he'd be offended by this. He'd probably look at it as like a love letter.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
There goes Deck. He probably just had something going wrong with his microphone, but... yeah, it's just, you had something beautiful. It would be like, if I had any effect at all on your opinion, I'd say run with it, because to be honest, let's be honest here, nobody for a second should believe that the idea of ruining the director's vision makes any sense at all.
It's right.
We've talked about it multiple times in this, like, there are so many people that have potentially soiled the vision of the director by creating our projects. Us three are probably some of the largest contenders within, like, the Jurassic World community. And, like, you know...
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's just, you gotta rethink it.
We technically have a big target on our backs too, just because of what we're doing. Because what we're doing is different. It's innovative.
Yeah.
And
But anyways, yeah.
And for to close this out, Universal, once again, I don't expect you to see this, but if you do, if you're not going to let the man finish his work, at least hire the guy, because as you can see, he has potential to make something great for y'all.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. The system it went into sleep mode actually because I was on the computer. Yeah, I was playing on the computer and the system it went to sleep because the controller died.
But all right, Dick. Do you have any closing statements you would like to say?
I just think Universal is just being greedy as usual. It's like, your fans are having fun. Well, if we can't monetize it, you can't have it. That seems to be the way it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like we had something good.
When they didn't even finance it.
Right.
They put no money into it, but they can just shut it down. Like, okay, thanks.
It's just like DGP said. We had something good. It was right there. We could almost touch it, and you ripped it away from us.
You soiled it.
But all right, everybody.
Yeah.
This has been your
I'm Dino Gaming Productions.
Asset transportation complete.
And Deck Tunics.
And I'm unfortunately attached to Kevin.
I thought you represented Kevin.
What are you lying to the people for? God.
All right, everybody. This has been the JPOG Squad, and we'll be catching you all later. Fuck you,
Goodbye.
Universal.
Till next time, take it easy.
Great. Now we're gonna get.